Photographers are like the police. Whenever you see one, you're on your best behavior out of fear of being captured. Well, you're also looking to kill as many as you possibly could throughout their day. You like donuts, but you don't get them for free most of the time because no one respects you. It doesn't mean if 5 of them came to me for help, I'd refuse.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Okay, we have an interesting episode today. I'm trying to redeem myself from the last one where autofocus hunting was a thing. Apparently, Nikkor, not the best autofocus so far. I'm trying to tweak things to see what the hell your problem is, but we were at -1 speed and -1 aggression. And now we're -2 for both, so you shouldn't be searching for anything. We're literally subject only detect. I know probably everything looks like it's in focus, but we're gonna switch lenses for each question. We're on the 17 to 28, we're gonna zoom to 28, then 28mm prime, then 40mm 22, and then finish it off with a bang with the 85mm 1.2. Wow. And I apologize in advance for any wind noise. I've never felt the ferocity of Mother Nature. I can't believe how windy it is, but come on, left mic. Wind muffs down below. How did the cameras today compare to the perfect camera you wanted when you started the channel? Are they close or even better in some regards? They have so far surpassed it, it's not even funny. You have to remember, when I started this channel, I owned 2 cameras, 3 if you count the super zoom. Panasonic G85 with the Nikon 25mm 0.95 lens, and it was manual focus only. That's 50mm equiv, so you have to be probably like this far away, really hard to judge the focus, and you're like, damn it, this is annoying. So my perfect camera needed great autofocus. Like, it was dual pixel autofocus at that time. Was like, oh man, can you believe that? And I don't even think Sony was leading the industry. It was Canon, and they fell off a cliff. That cliff, I saw them do it. And I was obsessed with blurry backgrounds, so it had to be full frame. So I just wanted a nice full frame with a wide angle lens with beautiful stabe, and HD 120p was like, holy shit. Because I didn't even have that in the G85. It had no slow-mo whatsoever. My little X3000 did. So like, that was the goal, and it just, camera after camera would have some of those, but not all. Like, the EOS R was the first one to be like, okay, here we are. It was full frame, dual pixel autofocus, but no stabe. 720p slow-mo, like, come on. And then eventually it was like A6400 on the Sony, no stabe, flip up screen. A lot of mistakes happened, but like, if we're looking today, my God, like Sony A6700, if they would have announced that, I would have been blown away. Of like 4K 120p, HD 240, flippy screen? Did that even have IBIS? Not good IBIS. So like, there was that one, frickin' Panasonic S5 II, the G9 II, like a lot of them came out. It's like, holy cow. But I've, of course, evolved over time and upped the bar, and now none of those are even close to good enough, even though the General Electric camera I just reviewed is more than good enough. So I understand it's hard to meet a goal when you keep moving the goalpost, and it's like, okay, we're working on it, and it takes like probably 3 years to develop a camera. So I tell you, okay, I want this spec, and it's like, okay, we'll work on it, and then by the time they get there in 3 years, I'm like, what are you talking about? I've tripled those specs already. So I'm impatient, and I deserve none of the cameras, but this ain't perfect. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Let's zoom into 28 for the next hobo bitch. My plan is to try to keep the same composition, full body, and let's see how that works out. This is a long one. I think this guy emailed me. You should be thrown in prison for that, but whatever. Just leave a comment, and that's the one place I'll see it. Hey Casey, I'm a special education teacher in school, photographer, videography. The past 2 years I've been using Sony A7 IV for pictures and videos. Sorry to hear that. A7 IV has been perfect. Photos, need something better for video. I do lots of slow-mo video. Oh, look at you, in 4K. You do you? With your little crop, your 4K 60, give me a break. If I sell my A7 IV, budget $3,000, A744 does. No one cares about your budget. This is unlimited budget questions here. Since I have E-mount glass, like to stay there, what would you do? What would you get? Isn't the answer like so obvious that you already know it? There's two options, three really. You're Sony, you want full frame. There's actually 5 options. Okay, it is more complicated than I thought. Top of the mountain is A7S III. Can you afford it? Find one used. No, you can't. Too high. Okay, FX3. It's worse, but more money. Completely out of the question, I get it. Clouds growing by, what's the white balance doing? Who cares? Lower is the ZVE1. That's your sweet spot. Now you're doing 4K 120p. Amazing. Will it overheat? It might. Your little kids, your special ed kids, they're going to throw up on the thing, and it's like, uh-oh, it's hot in here. You could try it. So A7S III is the safe bet. ZVE1 might overheat. If you could get a little fan or something on it, the Ulanzi fan through my affiliate links, you might be okay. Air conditioning in your school, can you afford it? How's the budget these days? Have your kids chosen their gender yet? And the next option is to go down a notch to Sony APS-C. Now we're looking FX30, still expensive, decent slow-mo, it's cropping in, that might even help you. More zoom range, more cinematic. Or the A6700, lowest and cheapest option. Those are all doing 4K 120p, various crops. APS-C is good enough, and that's your answer. All right, let us switch to the Nikkor 28mm Prime. Same focal length and toniature, but it's a Prime now. Boom. Wow, it's windy. I did this back in the park on the first attempt, and it seemed like the 28mm had slight amounts of 3D pop, and the zoom really didn't, so it was better. And here we have that. I think I just scratched the real element. It was like, is there something on that? I blew it without saliva. You can do that. You don't have to. And then it was like, it wasn't coming off, so I used my shirt, and I think it scratched. I was like, what the hell just happened? What is it made of? Lint? That's not the tint? Leave me alone. Hey Casey, fellow Canadian here looking for help to get a new camera. I have the Sony a7 II with Sigma 24-70. Ouch. Cycling from Canada to Argentina. Is that even possible? You have to cross an ocean. You moron. You can't bike on water. Vlogging the whole thing. I found my a7 II inadequate, obviously. What the hell? No flippy screen. The IBIS, yeah, okay, that's what you have. Doesn't even have phase detect. You're in Sony color science with no phase detect. Wow. I spent so much time looking at some camera, have no idea what to pick. Styles more with an aesthetic vlog. Oh, really? Cinematic, is it? So you want to be this. Come with me to Argentina. What the hell was that? It was a leaf. Oh boy, I would not make it in Argentina. Cinematic, Life of Riza, Borderless by who the hell are those people? I was gonna jump ship, go to G9 II, but I think the A7C or ZVE1, I just don't know. Oh, what a conundrum. Oh my God, you're vlogging. It's just a freaking action cam. How many times are you gonna get robbed on the way from Canada to Argentina? 7 minimum? You're gonna, which expensive camera should I bring? You're on a bike. You should be packing gels of sugar to give you energy. What are you even doing with your life? Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, are you riding the bike while filming? Is that your plan? To like one handlebar, you're doing that type of stuff? Or are you like, you're riding somewhere, you lock your bike, you go for a walk, and then you're filming the town kind of thing? You can't go wrong with the Sony ZVE1. I want one. I'm waiting for like a super deal. If Nikon disappoints me like they already have so far, I'm leaning ZVE1 for my second cam. All Sony. Boom, take that to the bank. Do you really need it though? Like, it's a bit overkill actually. But like 4K 24p, if you're traveling that far and you're doing HD 240 of every town you visit, like you're capturing the spirit of it. There's nothing better than that. I won't even look at a camera that doesn't have HD 240 minimum. It's just so glorious. So ZVE1 has it. You could go APS-C if you wanted. What focal length are you gonna do? Are you like vlogging or like zooming out there? Are you keeping that Sigma lens? That's your first mistake. You get the Zeiss, some kind of Zeiss zoom. There's not many, but if you're staying in the Sony system, my answer is the same as the first guy with his special ed slow motion stuff. That's gonna sell on some type of site. Sony ZV-E1, Sony FX30, A6700. Play around in those realms and then look at the lens. What lens can I get? Because if you're APS-C, you're getting mostly Sony glass or Sigma or disgusting Tamron. But if you're full frame, then it's like, okay, the Zeiss lenses are starting to make sense. Then you have something. We now switch to the 40mm Tony 2. Yay. We're at 40mm now. A little more compression. It's getting harder to see if I have framed myself properly. That's the bitch about being out here. Further and further you get, it's like, no idea if I'm in focus or if anything is framed, but here we are, 40mm Tony 2. We're at Tony 2 now instead of the 2.8. And it's a longer focal length. It should be magic, and there should be some 3D pop, as we'll get to in the 85mm 1.2, which I think lacks 3D pop. I'm just throwing that out there. Do you still love the Sony X3000 compared to the original's DJI Action Pocket for same case scenario? The original? Action 1? Oh boy. If you recall, that seemed like it took a while. When the Action 1 was released, I wasn't too impressed. I had the X3000, it was like amazing, and the Action 1 did almost nothing to gain our love. It didn't like have a mic jack, it was missing so much. It was just like ugly and stupid, and it did it have 240p? I think it looked so bad. And there was so much I hated about it. I was like, how is that an upgrade? So Sony just like, they were laughing because they knew they didn't have to go to work ever again to beat anything DJI would offer. And the X3000, like, I could still use it today and you wouldn't even be like, damn, I'm not watching this anymore. I hate this. Although my version seems a little soft. And then once I got that adapter for filter threads and then started putting like Glimmer Glass 3 on it, there was moments where it was like so magical. But it vignettes so hard, then you have to crop in. It kind of ruins it. But like that form factor, it's still the best thing we have. That's why I'm hoping someone comes out with like a camcorder, because that's how it should be gripped. Boom, top to bottom, and your arm angles out of the shot. You're seeing that magic, that's what it should be. Whereas all the other ones, you're like doing claw grip shit. That's not right. And if you do go top to bottom, the lens, it's like your whole arm is in the shot. Like you're filming this part of your hand. What are you filming, crab boy? Get a real job. The only thing I really needed as an upgrade to the X3000 was for the mic jack to not be so hot. It was so loud. I was like, damn it. Like it was so perfect. Tiny little thing with a mic jack. Are you kidding yourself? And you have just a little lav mic and you're laughing and you're hooking it on your backpack. And that thing, the Ulanzi clips, when you're on it, you can't get the SD card out. That's really annoying. So like a little longer body, and then we're wanting like a bigger sensor and all that crap that we don't need. Little manual focus thing, little flippy screen. Like they could have done so much. I don't know why they abandoned that, because they went straight to the RXO, which was a physical joke. 1-inch sensor. Oh, awesome. What's the lens? 24mm Tony 4. That single autofocuses, so it's too wide, so you have to half press to focus, but that's too freaking tight with electronic stabe and no IBIS. Your X3000 did Boss stabe, like their best camcorder stabe, and then you went to only digital with these super crops, and that's what they've been doing ever since. So while yes, I could run my entire show on just the X3000, I might even do that. It's just slightly annoying to use with the menu diving. It's just a tiny screen, and to get into slow-mo was like a lot of memorizing, like press this, down, this, down, okay. It was too much, whereas like DJI Action 4 now, it's like one button press. I'm over to the next custom mode, and it has log, and it's 10-bit, and it's even slower and sharper and more stable, and it's like, okay, now DJI has surpassed us. You're gonna lose me when I'm out of my box, right? You're not on me in the box. I'm out of the box. And now I'm in the box. Good job, Nike. Good job, Nicky boy. So X3000, totally viable, but also stupid. Like I wouldn't buy one. I still have mine, and might charge the batteries on it one day and take her on out for a spin, but I should have brought it here, but I brought too much. My white card disappeared. Let us switch to the quite disappointing, if I must say, Nikon 85mm 1.2. The clouds went by. That sucks. Am I even in the shot? Oh God. I should have planned this out and mapped it. 85mm 21.2 at 24, just to be respectable here. We're not trying to step on anyone's toes. And I've noticed, even though that Canon EF 85mm 1.2 was hunting like crazy, it has a special look to it. Even if you stop down to 28 and you manually focus, which is what I should have done for sure. And I know that now in the future, but the Nikkor, it's sharper. It's the more modern lens, isn't it? But when it was at 6.3, I was like, I'm not seeing any magic. That could have been shot on a smartphone. That's how bad it looked to me. And so, like, I don't know, man. It was hunting a lot. Is it still hunting? We have to know these things. It should be following me nicely. Nicky boy. I'm totally in the frame. Wow. All right, last question here. 24. Unbelievable. Casey, do you think an APS-C Fuji with XF lenses would produce better images in general than a full-frame Canon with RF lenses? Wow. This is a debatable topic. Trying to decide between XS10. Oh, you ruined my life. Why go with that budget option? I thought you were up here with the big boys. XS20 or something. 27mm, 22.8. For what? This is photography centric, isn't it? Oh boy. R8 with an RF lens. I shoot photos, not. So could you go with a Fuji look? I imagine it's a tough one. When I've ever compared Fuji to Canon full frame, immediately I thought, damn, that full frame is nice. Even though like Fuji had the better codecs and your 10-bit, like just even the EOS R 1080p, I was like, full frame is just better in most, if not 100% of the times. It's just, it can be lighter to have APS-C, and Fuji does have a special look. And I imagine, you know what's making me like excited? I've never done a video like this with a Fuji. I only learned that this was fun to do like after the Fuji was sold. So like I've done this on Canon and Sony and the Blackmagic. I think if you had the 35mm 1.4 on here with the XS20, like it'd be hilariously amazing. Too amazing, possibly. But like Canon full frame, there's just so many quirks with the Canon system. Like I like the R8 image. It makes me look like I don't throw up on myself at night. It's a nice little skin tones and the colors, and it's easy to use. The battery life, not my favorite thing, but I can't help but remember every single comparison I've ever done. Even though RF glass is worse, it's sharper than the Fuji glass, and if you're going modern Fuji glass, then they also lost their character. That was almost, what is this? Shattered bricks. How is this even a road? It's just a bunch of bricks that are broken. Ow! Fuji has magic and interesting color science, but Canon is full frame, and it's basically cheaper. The R8, I've been posting deals for you. It's 20% off. It's like $1,200 US plus tax. That's almost nothing. That's almost a coffee, like a really nice coffee with gold sprinkles or something. But like Fuji, I don't know. I want to, but all the new autofocus updates, there's a guy who did there's a new firmware, and he's funny. He's really funny. Like he had this autofocus point thing where he was like throwing it. Just, can I thank you for being creative and like doing something I haven't thought of? Like it's really boring to watch YouTube most of the time, and I'm like, damn you all, you cookie cutter boring morons. Whereas this guy was like doing stuff, it was funny, and he's mean, and he's funny and he's good times. So let's all go subscribe to that guy. He is like he just started and he's like really good already. You should see my first videos. It was like, what the hell is that? I was literally watching a hockey game while filming, and it was like loud in a dark room with no lights. That was his first video. Not bad. Not bad. But yeah, Fuji versus Canon, try them. Go try them. They're both good. Like, there's no definitive answer. Some are gonna prefer Fuji. I think full frame is magic. Fuji should have went full frame instead of medium format. Unless they can bring medium format down in price and size, do a little flippy screen. Can you imagine a 12 megapixel medium format sensor doing 4K 2400,000 frames per second? I could imagine something like that. So, is it true? Let's just go through the cycle here. We started at 17 on the not Tamron zoom at all, and then we zoomed that thing into 28. There's your amazing 11 millimeter zoom range. Wow, look at you. That was worth the money and wait. Then we switched to the 28 mil prime. It has small amounts of 3D pop. It's a low element count vintage lens, not bad. 40 mil Tony 2 has been the best sweet spot lens so far of the Nikkor world. And that has some 3D pop. I've seen it. I swear I've seen it. And then we go now to the 85 mil. Was I even in my focus box? Should I have been further away? Oh God, I didn't measure any of this. And I'm just thinking, like, would I want this lens if it does not have character? It's super heavy. It was almost $3,000. Imagine the things I could buy with that money. Return this lens, get a Fuji XS20 and 2 Fuji used lenses. It's like, whoa. So it's like, I don't know, man. So far, you're sharp. That's about all you are. Let's stop it wide open. Just do it. Just do it, Nikon. Don't mess around here. I'm in my box. I made a box. It's all special. We're box-like. It's right clearly effaced. You're getting it. You're slowly understanding. That's what Canon always used to do, and it was so annoying. I couldn't leave my shot and walk into it. It would never get you. At least Nikon eventually gets you, and it shouldn't be focusing right now. There's no human to detect. You should only detect me. I'm the human boy. 1.2 wide open, overexposed, possibly, and potentially. But hot damn, this has a special look for just talking head in your living room. It's like, wow, that is some tone. That is some tone and sharpness, and it's cool, but I don't think it's worth it. And I hope Viltrox sends their F to Z adapter before this return window closes, because I want to compare this to my Voigtlander 58mm 1.4 and the Nikkor 105mm 2.5. That'll be some stuff. I bet those are far superior for this type of video. Just no autofocus, but I bet you it's faltered at some point in this video, and I could just pick this thing, focus on it, and then stand 3 inches behind it and be completely out in the laughing stock of our town. But I've helped you so much. Right now I'm gonna make 2 more videos for my vegetable police channel, and I just like experimenting. I'm probably gonna try this at a different angle and then switch to the 40mm Tony 2 and then see, like, is there pop or what? And it feels like it's the thunderstorm. What happened to my beautiful day? I'll leave. How you doing? You subscribing for more videos?